one big thing.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him surface again. That was what a man who knows Urban Meyer well said about him Tuesday as the news broke that he was retiring as head football coach at Ohio State after the Rose Bowl. The man who said it, Jeremy Foley, was Meyer's AD at Florida. Meyer stepped away from football there too, did some TV with us a year later, then took over at Ohio State, went from one massive program to another. So if your reaction to this news Tuesday was the same as Foley's and mine was, history's on your side. I don't believe for a second that at 54, even though he has health problems that are real, that Urban Meyer's done with football or that football's done with him. But this is the pattern: massive success at the very top floor of the sport, issues off of it, and health concerns. Watching him during the Buckeyes game with Maryland, which was one of the most entertaining in the sport this year, I wasn't convinced he was going to make it. But he and his team survived that day, barely. Then they hammered their rivals from Ann Arbor again. He's the only Ohio State coach ever with a perfect record against Michigan, 7-0. He's 82-9 in Columbus, won a title. And this is the level of accomplishment, which is rare. And it allows an already passionate fan base to get mad at the story, not the man, when his handling of assistant coach Zach Smith's volatile relationship with his wife led to a 3-game suspension to start this year. It's hard to know what specifically led to his decision, but there were whispers last week that this was coming, and now here we are. I don't believe it's the end of the road, but like that scene at the end of Castaway, maybe contemplating which way to go from here. I get to see Urban every spring in Jacksonville. We support Tim Tebow's charity event, I should say, and we always spend some time sitting down to catch up, and it's never about football. This last spring, the smile never left his face when he talked about Troy. That's his grandbaby. Urban's a young man to be a grandpa, but it's a role that suits him. There's a lot about Meyer that's complicated, but not that, just pure unmatched joy. And I found myself thinking about that today as I read Forty and Thamel and all the other excellent writers on the topic. Because one of the hardest things to do with great athletes and great coaches is to view them as something other than great athletes and great coaches. To remember the part where they're just people. And maybe Urban just wants to go be a grandpa for a while. But how long is a while? Les Miles just took a job at 65, Mack Brown at 67. Coach is coach, and Urban Meyer's a football coach, one of the very best there is. He might not be back next year, but my guess, my really strong suspicion is that he will be again. And it won't be some tumbleweed road in the middle of nowhere.